Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro friends. Today I want to talk about the idea of respecting people's time. This seems to be something that seems to be coming up a lot when people are mentioning to me about examples like, how come baristas keep turning up at my cafe wanting to talk to my staff and not knowing when to leave my staff alone? Also, people are contacting me saying, how come I got to keep giving all this free consulting time to people? A whole bunch of different situations there. And it is very interesting. So let's talk about how you respect people's time. I think an integral part of understanding what respecting people's time is about is having empathy and understanding that you're not the most important person in everybody's life. And I know that sounds harsh, but having a wider spectrum of the understanding that you're the most important person to you and you should be the most important person to you. And that's awesome, right? But your needs are not going to be the priority of pretty much anybody else. The way to make it a priority for pretty much anyone else is when you're paying them for their time. But if you're showing up and just expecting people to either impart knowledge onto you or their own time onto you or anything like that, I want to let you know that that's an unreasonable request. And I think the reason that this keeps happening is because this is not something that we talk about openly in our industry. It is not okay to expect people to drop anything for you. It is also not okay to expect anybody to give you knowledge for free just simply because you expect that. People take time and effort and lots of hard work to accumulate the knowledge that they have. So if you want somebody to help you with stuff, it's fine to reach out for a few moments of somebody's time. That's cool. But the long-winded emails or the massively long Instagram DMs, Facebook messages, and I'm not specifically talking about me here. This happens, yes, to me, but it happens to a lot of people that are doing similar things to what we're doing with regards to disseminating information. So most of us have a free platform of content, podcasts, and the information that we're disseminating through our social platforms. And we do that because that is what we've committed to as free content. And that's the time that we give for free. And it takes a lot of time to do a lot of this stuff. Asking people to give you a lot more of their time and expecting them to do that for free is unreasonable. So I just wanted to put that starting point out there. If you are going to ask somebody for their advice, the best way to do that, or for their consult, or for just a little bit of their wisdom, ask a one-sentence question that requires a couple of words as an answer. That's not unreasonable. But when you're sending messages that are really, really long and that require a lot of time to read it, because remember, you're not the only person that's sending these messages. There are hundreds of these messages that come through. And so if we're to read all these messages and then take the time to respond to them, it's no longer just about responding something very quickly or reading something very quickly. This stuff takes hours. And while I'm super grateful for how popular the podcast is getting, and I know that there are friends of mine who are sifting through thousands of emails every week and messages and whatnot, we're all in the same boat. So That's one element of respecting people's time. So if you do want to reach out to anybody that has a platform that is disseminating information, the most respectful way that you can respect their time is ask a one-sentence question, and that requires a couple of words as a response. And that kind of stuff, even if there's 100 of those, that could take 10 minutes to answer. So doing that is being very respectful of somebody's time. And that way, if the person wants to be able to give you more of their time, they've got the option to do that. They'll ask you for more context, or they'll let you know that you can send them an email if you're asking that question through a DM or whatever. Okay, I think you guys get the concept behind that. So, and just remember, if you are wanting an hour of somebody's time, expecting an hour of a professional's time who has spent near on 2 decades trying to get as far as they have in the industry, $30 an hour isn't a reasonable request of their time. That's just not going to be something for an hour of their time. They'd be much better off committing that to working on their own business. So be reasonable in your expectations of what it costs for somebody to spend an hour helping you on your business. And I just want to reiterate there, it's not necessarily me that I'm talking about, or only me that I'm talking about. I'm hearing this again and again and again from so many of my friends. Now, for people who turn up to cafes and sit there and monopolize baristas' times, all right, this used to be something that was, for me in the beginning part of my career, was really difficult when any of my coffee friends would show up at the cafe that I was working at, and they'd just like hover around the espresso machine, and you'd like try and give them a hint and how to like, dude, I'm trying to work here. Try to give them a hint that they need to move along and go, and you can't keep standing there and talking to them because you got to get shit done. Okay. It's really difficult being in that position as a barista, right? And the most mortifying thing is when your boss has to come and tell that person to fuck off. And I've seen a number of times where that's had to happen. Now, you as a coffee professional visiting your friends need to manage how you conduct yourself. So if you're walking into a cafe and you are going to drink coffee and super stoked that a particular barista is making your coffee, that's a wonderful sign of respect, and I really applaud it. It's really great that we support each other's businesses and we support each other's careers by showing up and getting a coffee made by a particular person. There's nothing nicer than that as a coffee professional. But please bear in mind that that person is getting paid by a business owner to execute their work. And so you need to respect that person's job and that person's time. And the way that you do that is by thanking going up, saying hi, maybe asking them, what should I be drinking today? Or what do you recommend? And then conducting yourself as though you're a regular customer, because getting out of that person's way is going to be really important for them in their work. And you not slowing them down because they don't want to be rude to you is you doing them a favor. And then come back and tell them, I love the coffee, thanks for the coffee, whatever. But a quick greeting and a quick goodbye, they'll let you know if they have time to talk to you for a couple of minutes. But let them be the person that steers that cue so that okay, this person's given me a cue to come and talk. You don't put them in a difficult position that stops them from doing their work and later potentially getting into trouble from their employer. Now, if you're the barista that's on shift and you are in a situation whereby you have someone that's come to visit you, or even not someone to visit you, you have a customer that's being a little bit different and you don't quite know how to get them to be a little more respectful of your time. Some suggestions that I would have for you is that you work with your team to be able to signal to them when you're stuck, so that you can signal to each other how to transition in that situation. So, and this is a really great indicator of a team that works well together. So if you can signal to one of your coworkers that you're stuck by having like a secret in-house word, that person will know to find a way to ask you to go and do something at the back. And then that situation quickly moves that customer along. If it is one of your friends that has come and visited you, the best thing that I think that you can do, them being a coffee professional, is just say, hey dude, it was really good to see you. Enjoy your coffee. If somebody can't see that that's a cue that they need to move the fuck along, then you're okay to just say, hey bro, I got to get back to work. Or hey friend, I got to get back to work. If they can't take a subtle hint like, I really hope that you enjoy your coffee, then it's okay to be really more forward with them. But learn the skills to be diplomatic, and this is a part of you becoming a professional, learning how to deal with these difficult situations. If people can't respect your time, you have to help them respect your time. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I'd love to hear what your strategies are. Share them in the show notes below, in the comments section below, or hit us up on our socials, wherever you find this video. Peace, love, and peanut butter, friends.